Hello, and welcome to KennyRoy.com. I'm Kenny Roy. This is the Ask Videomail for the week of June 1st, 2015. Welcome to the site to you new members, and welcome back to the old members. Remember, the Ask Videomail is your chance to get your question, character animation, or performance answered in a video just like this one, but I need your question if I'm going to answer it, right? Yes. So, please send your questions to webmaster@kennyroy.com. I go through all the questions and I answer the ones I think will help the most people. Where is my microphone? Why does it keep on going up there? There's no such thing as a stupid question, and if there was, I've already asked it, okay? So, please send in your questions. I will go through those. Those people who are sending in questions, keep sending in those questions. You are doing what you're supposed to. It is a learning experience. It is a thing that you can do to improve. By even asking the question, even trying to form a concise description of the problem is a step in the right direction. Okay, so you're doing what you're supposed to. Good on you. Good for you if you've been sending those questions. I'm proud of you. Keep on doing it though. Keep on doing it. I need more questions. Always need more questions. So this week we're going to tackle something. It's interesting that I've mentioned this here and there. I mean, I've gone in depth about it anywhere yet, I don't think. But this is something that you encounter a lot on the job, and there's no, or at least I haven't encountered or worked at a place where there is a very set standardized workflow for getting this done. And it is, well, I'm not going to ruin the surprise. Here it is. Check out this. Great question. Basically what you need to know about Maya and the way that Maya works is that copying animation is the act of taking an animation curve, which is a node in Maya, an anim curve. Is taking an anim curve and copying the anim curve node from one node to another, okay? From one transform node to another. Now, how it does that, it's very simple, or it can be very simple. It just finds one node, finds another node, and attaches the output of the anim curve to the input of the transforms on that object. Well, that starts getting a little bit tricky. Oh, and by the way, I am throwing this webcam directly in the trash. These lines that are showing up, unacceptable. I don't know why. It's a nice webcam, unbelievable. So I apologize once again for the crappy video. It's never going to happen again. All right, we're going to take care of this. Nip this right in the bud. Okay. Ugh, so angry. What was I saying? Okay, so that seems like a simple thing to do, and if you were getting different results, it's entirely a matter of the rig. So let me show you what I'm talking about. Oh boy, oh man, that video, it just boils my goose. My goose is boiling. I feel like I need to get some more unboiled goose. I don't know who that is. Who's that character? Okay. So I'm going to duplicate this. All right. So basically, the way that copying animation works, again, I said, is it copies. It doesn't move one object like the other. Let me turn off this step preview. It doesn't move one object like the other. It actually is copying that anim curve. Okay, and if you have no anim curve on an object, it copies the entire anim curve. If you're copying just a key, it creates an anim curve and it copies just that key value on that frame. And so here's why that is important to understand. If I take this animation and I hit in the timeline copy, and then on frame 1 I hit paste, it basically knows exactly what I was trying to do because I selected the transform node, and I just went copy and paste. Okay. Now let's say I do it this method, which is go up to keys, copy keys, and then I go to here and I go keys, paste keys. Well, it looks like it did the exact same thing, but actually looks like there's a frame of offset. So let's open these back up and see what's actually going on. Okay. So in copy keys and in paste keys. Weird. Anyway, let's just start with the copy keys. So what are my copy keys options? Let's actually reset these. Okay, so hierarchy selected. What that means is that only the selected object where are you going to be copying the keyframes. Okay, it's sort of like a little bit of like a fakery that's going on now. It's not actually just copying keys. It has to understand where the anim curve is coming from. But let's move on. All of these things you can keep. You can keep standard. All right, so copy keys, okay? And now I'm going to go to my paste keys option. So when you do a paste key, you can change all these options, but I want to show you the real kicker here and why some of the results you're going to get are a little bit different. Right now, it already has it in the clipboard. But if you're using any of these options, you're relying on Maya to sort of know exactly from where and to where those keys are supposed to be pasted. Okay, so if nothing is changed, so these are two spheres, or I don't care about the changes, then I'm just going to do a paste on the current time range, okay? And the animation that I put on this sphere is going to basically get pasted right back down onto this timeline with no changes to it, and that's fine because I didn't change this scene. Okay, I made this animation with this timeline, this time range showing, and I'm happy with it. So if you do a time range with a start time, that will basically be your automatic offset. If you do a start and an end, that will paste only the animation that's within those things. If you do current, that's if nothing has changed. Okay, and clipboard takes the time range that is actually in the clips that you the keys that you copied themselves. All right, so clipboard is how you make it so that the keys you're pasting are always going to be exactly what you copied them from. Current is what you can rely on if you didn't do any changes on the timeline. So that's because my time range was defaulted to start. This was offset one frame because the start time was 0. If I did start time of 1, it would be the right thing. All right, see how they're right on top of each other? Okay. If I do a paste, I do a start end of 1 through 10, it will work all the way through frame 10, and then it won't work anymore. Okay? If I do a paste keys of current, it will work because I haven't changed the timeline. And if I do a paste keys of clipboard, it will always work because it's taking what the key values are from the clip itself. Okay? Now, I always replace entire curve because I normally can't keep in mind what I would need to in order to kind of like figure out how I would paste and insert animation here or there and slide stuff and whatever. So that's what I normally do. So I normally do clipboard and replace entire curve. All right, so that's the most reliable way if your rig supports it. And so let's get into that issue because that is normally what's screwing you up. I wanted to show you what what that was doing. Oh, and this is all, let me just kind of say, exporting animation, if it's not in some sort of like baked format, is the same as exporting a .anim file out of Maya, is the same as exporting a keys copy keys. It's the exact same thing, okay? Because if you look at the file dialog for importing an anim file, it's the exact same thing as the paste keys. It says when you import, it says what do you want to do? Start, end, current, whatever, okay? And so what we're going to talk about right now is the hierarchy, okay? This is where you get very different results. I doubt that people were actually really getting trouble in copying animation from one object of the exact same transform as another. You can even use the copy keys in the graph editor to drive a different transform. In fact, you can copy like the translate X to the rotate X in the graph editor if you want to. Normally though, we're not dealing with those kinds of like weird like experiments. I mean that you're not, I honestly can't imagine when you would like do that as part of your workflow. So we're just going to mention that it's possible, but we're not going to do it. So here's the issue. When you are testing your rig, I believe that in that how to properly test a rig lecture, I talked about how to that it's a good idea to test if your rig can copy animation. So this is what you need to do. First thing you do is grab your character, grab all the controls, set some random keys, and then bring in another character. The exact same rig, okay, and then see how much you have to do in order to copy animation. Now, a really good rig should be able to select just the top node and do a keys copy keys below. I'll show you copy keys below and paste keys from clipboard and then replace entire curve. That's a really good rig. All right, so let's see if bloke. I can't remember. Honestly, I don't know what's about to happen because I can't remember if bloke is good. So let's go keys. All right, on my animated character, copy keys, and this is what I'm gonna say. From hierarchy, selected means just the object, but below means all of the controls below the selected node. Okay, channels, all keyable. You can turn on driven channels and control points if you want, but I don't think there's any driven channels in this rig. Time range all. All right, copy keys, and now let's see what we see. I should mention though that in order for this to work right, normally ever, you should select your character, and on frame 1, he should have a keyframe on every single one of his controls. That's just good practice. Okay, keyframe on every single control on frame 1, or frame 101 if you're working on film. Anyway, so we go to frame 1 again, and we go keys, paste keys. Remember, I do clipboard replace entire curve because that is the way to make it so that the clip itself is actually dictating where the keys are supposed to go. Okay, and now replace entire curve will mean that if there's any keys there, it'll just blow them away. So let's give it a shot here and see what happens. Okay, great. So it really seems as though bloke was set up for animation to copy very, very nicely. And this is the last thing I want to say is this is how I would do it in terms of workflow. I would first, let's say you're having trouble with your scene, and we have this all the time at Arconics, where like a scene gets overloaded, there starts being like ghosts in the scene that crash it all the time. It's time to just rebuild the scene. So what I'll do is I'll make sure that animation copies and pastes nicely by creating a reference in the same scene and pasting it over and saying, okay, this looks good. And then what I'll do is it's still in the clipboard. So I'll go new. All right, so I know this is a totally fresh scene. It's totally fresh, everything is perfect. All right, and then I'll just do another paste keys. Okay, it's still on the clipboard. All right, and it only leaves the clipboard after you close Maya. All right, the keys, copy keys, and keys, paste keys is the simplest and the fastest way to copy animation in Maya. It's faster than even Control-C and Control-V in the timeline graph editor or dope sheet. It's faster than because of the fact that it can paste to hierarchy. It is faster than exporting a .anim file or a Limbic file or an FBX or anything that you could think of. And the goal for a rig and your decision as to what kind of rigs you're going to be making, doing your little test animations on, one of the considerations should be how well does this copy animation? Does it copy very nicely and immediately and instantaneously, or is it a pain in my butt and there's just like so much that I have to do custom? Morpheus, for instance, I believe Morpheus does not copy and paste very nicely. I'm not positive though. But at any rate, give that a shot. Okay. Now you can do the same thing. Here's just one more thing that I want to show you. Sometimes what you actually want to do is to copy and paste all the if it's not working on the hierarchy of your character, here's another way to do it. If you are sure that you can select all of the controls and you have the entire animation in your timeline, you can do a copy right here and then go new, and this is different for every single rig, but hopefully this should work. Select them all again and then go paste. Let's see. Yeah. So, oh wait, it's on the stupid joints. Let me turn off joints. There we go. Paste. All right. So this didn't work, and the reason that didn't work is because of the way that this rig is set up. Because Maya actually does different things when it's selecting in panel. Selecting in panel is not as simple as you think it actually is. It's drawing a rectangle, and then it's like casting a sort of like a selection ray through this rectangle and hitting objects. It's like actually a very complicated thing. In fact, you will find, here's a fun experiment. You will find if you have like dozens of rigs imported into a scene or referenced into a scene, and you're clicking, it actually is much faster to actually draw a rectangle to select a. I'm not sure if you can tell this, but it's actually faster to draw a rectangle. I think because of the way that it sort of sorts through the objects that you hit when you click on something, and it explicitly works out what is being hit, maybe as you are dragging your mouse. I have no idea, but there's some weird things that happen when you're selecting, and when you're selecting in scene and pasting animation or whatever, it actually is not necessarily pasting the values that you have on those controls in the same place. In the same place. So that's one thing that you have to realize. One way you can try to get around that is to try this. Is you can select them, you can sort of trick Maya into selecting it in the same order no matter what. And this is how you would do that. Go to NURBS curves. I would just make sure that they're all selected on frame 1, and I would hit set key, and then grab just the, what do you call it, the uppermost node here, and go select minus high. Okay. like that. And that selects the hierarchy. Then I would do a keys, or not, just a copy on the timeline, and now let's see if that worked. Sometimes this is a way you can get Maya to select the right controls in the right order and to paste the animation correctly. So I'm going to select that. I'm going to go select minus high again, and now I'm going to go paste. There you go. So if you can trick Maya into selecting the controls correctly, then you can use the timeline. But as you saw, that wasn't quite as fast as selecting just this node and going keys, copy keys, and then make a new one, bam, keys, paste keys. It's just not as fast. But sometimes if your rig isn't created correctly, and you're selecting this topmost master controller and copy and paste keys is not working, if you do that, or even if you select the rig, here's his control group. If you select the control group and go select minus high, sometimes that works as well. So in summary, you're getting different results mainly due to the way that Maya handles selection and hierarchies when it pastes animation, because it doesn't always know exactly what node to copy this animation curve from and paste it onto whichever corresponding one. You can have different names on your controls as long as they're in the same hierarchy, but the hierarchy that it copies from is based on the order of selection. So there you go. That's why you get different results. I'm not sure if you guys are doing a lot of copy and pasting, but again, it's a good technical skill to know. Try to do it, and when you are choosing, for instance, the rig that you're going to be using for your Anim Gym entry this month, which I know you're all going to do, choose a rig that copies and pastes animation nicely. Give this a try, okay? Get good at this, get quick at this. You'll be happy you did. That was a lot of fun. Thanks for sending that question in. I'm Kenny Roy. Good luck with your animation. As always, rock on.